Every day I wake up, wake your ass up.
The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
We are the Breakfast Club.
You know, the one thing I never asked Leon Thomas, you know, I understand you're a dog, you're a young man, but why you a mutt? Like, why, you know what I'm saying?
Because it's a mixed dog. I'm just a mixed dog. A mutt is just a mixed dog.
But he ain't mixed.
Is he?
I don't know.
No, he's
gonna
black.
say stuff.
I'm just saying things.
I think you're regular black.
I don't know. We got to fix that echo.
This echo sounds crazy.
yeah.
This is
All
driving
right.
me insane right
But
now.
let's get to front page news. Now, salute to Chris Paul. He posted on his Instagram yesterday, I'm going home. They just sent me home. So the Clippers are parting ways with Chris Paul. And they said this is Chris Paul's last season.
No, for
Yes,
real?
yeah. So he just said that they're sending me home. So hopefully a team will pick him up and let him ride out his last year and retire the way he wants to retire.
Damn.
What's up, Mimi?
Good morning, MB, Jess, Charlamagne. How y'all doing this
Peace,
morning?
Mimi Brown.
Good.
Good morning. All right, so we start this morning continuing our coverage as backlash grows over those deadly U.S. military strikes at sea. And now there are new questions about whether the Trump administration is trying to make Admiral Frank Bradley the scapegoat over all of this. Now, during a cabinet meeting yesterday, President Trump and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, they tried to distance themselves from what happened on September 2nd. And that's the strike that killed 2 survivors in the Caribbean. They're now saying that Admiral Bradley, he made the call to the suspected drug boat at the time to strike it down after that first missile reportedly left people still alive in the water. Now, Hegseth says that he supports Bradley and his judgment. Let's listen to that exchange.
I watched that first strike live. As you can imagine, at the Department of War, we got a lot of things to do. So I didn't stick around for the hour and 2 hours, whatever, where all the sensitive site exploitation digitally occurs. So I moved on to my next meeting. A couple of hours later, I learned that that commander had made which he had the complete authority to do. And by the way, Admiral Bradley made the correct decision to ultimately sink the boat and eliminate the threat. And it was the right call. We have his back.
So you didn't see any survivors, to be clear, after that first strike? You personally?
I did not personally see survivors, but I stand, because the thing was on fire. It was exploded and fire and smoke. You can't see anything. You got digital. This is called the fog of war. This is what you in the press don't understand. You sit in your air-conditioned offices or up on Capitol Hill and you nitpick and you plant fake stories in the Washington Post about kill everybody, phrases on anonymous sources not based in anything.
Why are they selling out the Admiral to cover Pete Hegseth, Mimi? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, well, that's the question everyone is asking. Senator Chris Murphy, he was on CNN last night, and he's saying the same thing, that he's being sold out by his own chain of command. Let's listen to what he had to say.
Both Republicans and Democrats are coming to the conclusion that this was an illegal, wildly immoral act, and he is shifting the blame. It's the opposite of the buck stops here. And boy, it's a chilling signal to everyone in the chain of command that the Secretary of Defense does not have your back. But he is basically telling everyone, all of his generals, all of the professional staff of the Department of Defense, that I'm going to save myself if things get tough. And that's just devastating for American national security.
Yeah. So there he is. I think he's basically saying, I'm going to save myself. This is a serious war crime, if true, right? And if prosecuted, he could really see some, depending on what happens with the Trump administration, you never know, but he could really get in trouble behind this. So the Pentagon, they said that they have carried out 21 of these boat strikes since late last summer, killing more than 80 people, all described by the administration as narco-terrorists. And now a Colombian family, they filed a human rights complaint after their relative, a fisherman, he was killed by a separate attack on September 15th. They argue that the U.S. had no idea who was on that boat before they opened fire. And all of this, you guys, again, happening as that former Honduras president, Juan Orlando Hernandez, he was convicted of moving huge amounts of cocaine through the U.S. He walked out of federal prison, a free man, yesterday. So just raising questions about who this administration is cracking down on and who they are letting walk away. And then one more note, Admiral Bradley, he is scheduled to face lawmakers in a closed-door briefing on tomorrow.
And it makes me wonder, like, what is this really all about? Like, you can't say it's a war on drugs, but then, you bombing people in the ocean and don't even know what it is they're actually doing, but then you're pardoning actual drug dealers? Like, it makes no sense to me.
Yeah, the rumors are swirling. Could be oil in Venezuela. You never know, but the rumors are definitely swirling. Coming up at 7, a major airline is ditching one longtime perk and replacing it with a controversial requirement. We'll explain what that could mean for you and your next trip.
Lord Jesus, I fly out today, Mimi. What?
Well, you're good today. It starts next month.
Okay, all right.
Hey, salute to the airlines too. I know that the airlines was hectic a few months ago. But the airlines been pretty smooth.
Back in track.
The last couple of weeks. At least for me.
That was fine for me too. All right, everybody else, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up now. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get back in some front page news. What's up, Mimi?
Good morning, MV, Jess, Charlamagne. How y'all doing?
Peace, Mimi.
Hey, girl.
Good morning. Okay, so we start this hour in Minnesota, where federal immigration agents, they are expected to arrive in the Twin Cities in the next few days, targeting undocumented Somali immigrants. Now, a source familiar with the plan says ICE has been directed by the Trump administration to surge agents into Minneapolis, St. Paul, to arrest people with existing deportation orders. Now, Minnesota is home to the largest Somali community in the U.S. Homeland Security, they will not confirm the timing, but local leaders say hundreds of people could be swept up. And they're warning that incidental arrests are possible, meaning others who happen to be just present could also be detained. All of this happening as President Trump intensifies his rhetoric about Somalians. Let's listen.
Somalians ripped off that state for billions of dollars, and they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you, okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I could say that about other countries, too.
All of this is all because of Representative Ilhan Omar. I feel like he doesn't like her, and so he's against all Somalians because of her.
Damn.
Yeah, that was a lot. Trump and other top Republicans, they continue to cite a major case fraud in the state. That's where prosecutors say dozens of people stole hundreds of millions from pandemic food programs. Now, Somali residents say that scandal involved a small group of people, but it's now being used to paint the entire community and justify an immigration crackdown. Local officials there, including the mayor of Minneapolis and St. Paul, they say that they are standing with Somali families and warn that these raids risk profiling American citizens who simply look Somali. Let's listen to the mayor.
Our police officers are not ICE agents. They will not cooperate with ICE agents. Our police officers have an obligation, first of all, not to enforce federal immigration law. That is not their job. I want our police officers keeping people safe. I want our police officers responding to violent crime. You know what I don't want them doing? I don't want our police officers spending a single second hunting the father down that just dropped his kids off at daycare, who's about to go and work a 12-hour shift, who happens to be from Mogadishu or who happens to be from Ecuador.
So Governor Tim Walz, he is calling the planned ICE sweep a political stunt and not a real solution. So we'll continue to watch that. That is something that they are expecting in the next few days. And we're also learning more this morning about the victims in that mass shooting in Stockton, California that killed 4 people, including 3 children. Yeah, family members have identified 8-year-old Maya Lupian as one of the victims. She was a 3rd grader, a karate student, and just 2 weeks away from her 9th birthday. A 9-year-old, a 14-year-old, and a 21-year-old were also killed, and 11 others were injured. A 14-year-old, Amari Peterson, he was described by his father as a gentle soul who played football, basketball, and had just started thinking about college. This morning, Amari's father is sharing what those final moments look like. Let's listen.
I just heard gunshots, and then the shooter came in, and he came in. I turned my back, and I looked at him, and then I just started seeing him shoot. All I could see is my son crawling on the ground and me trying to resuscitate him. He had 1 bullet hole right above his heart. Everybody running off, and then my son is just sitting there, just crawling, trying to get up. So I got my baby. I had to hop back over the counter, and I'm trying to see what's going on with him. I'm trying to give him CPR and the bullet, and he just got blood coming out his face. And it's just something that a father should never have to go through.
Damn. I wish we could confirm hell was real and send them dudes who did that or those women who did that directly to that.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Yeah. He was describing a scene where his daughter, she was also grazed with a bullet. So he had 2 children actually hit, and he ended up losing his 14-year-old son.
Jesus
the
Christ.
FBI, it's very, very, very heartbreaking. The FBI is now assisting local investigators, and the reward for information has now doubled to $50,000. So far, no arrests have been made. Authorities say more than 100 people were at that gathering for a 2-year-old's birthday party when that gunfire erupted, and they believe that this was a targeted attack. Now, local law enforcement there, they say multiple shooters may have been involved. And Stockton Vice Mayor Jason Lee, he called the attackers cowards, and he's urging the shooters to come forward. And in the middle of all this heartbreak, perhaps just some good news, Afrobeat star Burna Boy, he says that he will cover the funeral expenses for all 4 victims. He said that he felt emotionally connected to the tragedy after hearing our report about it here on The Breakfast Club on Monday. So,
wow. That's what he said?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Oh, I didn't know that. Damn. Why ain't none of our producers tell us that? Well, thank you, Mimi, for letting us know that. I didn't know that.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. It's everywhere. If you Google it, it's like in every publication. I saw it in TMZ, the Daily Mail. It's everywhere. We're quoted. Yeah, the Breakfast Club is definitely.
I gotta start paying attention to Breakfast Club.
Yeah. So that's really good news. Yeah.
The whole story, it said that's good what Burna Boy is doing with the whole
but the story
is just, oh my God. Yeah.
All right.
And switching gears a little bit this morning, Southwest is rolling out 2 big, new, pretty controversial changes for travelers that they need to know about. One is assigned seating, and the other is a major update to its policy for plus-size passengers. Both of these kick in on January 22nd. So Southwest is ending that open seating, pick any row you want system and moving to assigned seating. And at the same time, it's tightening its rules around extra seats, or extra seats. Yep. So that's a change that's really going to impact plus size travelers. So starting next month, anyone who doesn't fit comfortably between the armrests will have to buy a second seat when they book their ticket. Yeah. So right now, Southwest is the only major airline that lets you ask for that extra seat for free at the airport. Or buy it ahead of time and get a refund later. But now, under these new rules, that free option is gone, and even the refund is no longer guaranteed. So Southwest says, yep, you might get your money back, but only if the flight isn't full. Both seats have to be bought at the same time, and you have to request your refund within 90 days to still get that refund. A lot of people are already pushing back, saying the airline is putting the burden on passengers instead of fixing the real issue. They say the seats are already too small.
Right. And a lot of fat people, they fly Southwest because, the accommodation. So why would they change that?
Why don't they just make them fly cargo? And furthermore, I don't have a problem at all with this. Okay, if you are too big for one seat, then you just gotta buy 2 seats. Don't act like the plane is doing something to you. You know how big you are.
But what if you don't got the bread to buy another seat, but you fat?
Well, you
can't
shouldn't have been eating so much bread. You need to stop eating bread. All right. Okay. By the way, tall people got to go through this too. Tall people got to go buy extra comfort with the extra leg room seats.
Extra comfort, yeah, extra leg room.
So it ain't just fat people that got to deal with this. Like if you a tall person, you got to buy extra leg room because you need it.
If you're a tall fat person, what do you do?
Damn,
you're a tall fat person.
This nigga trying to put people under the plane. You run a sprinter.
That's what you do.
Damn it, man.
I don't think that this is any wrongdoing of the plane is what I'm simply saying.
No, I don't think so either.
But
the problem is if you are big and you squish yourself in that seat and your fat goes over to the other seat, what happens during that part?
And by the way, see that's my problem with situations like this. Nobody thinks about the other people who are inconvenienced. You a big person and you squeezing into one seat. Now I got to sit next to you uncomfortably.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Your arm is on the armrest and your fat goes over the armrest.
But it depends because fat is very soft, so you got extra cushion. Because them Southwest seats, they don't really be comfortable. So I would actually like to sit next to a fat person whose fat is spilling over into my seat because that's extra cushion.
And is it fair? Is it fair for you to be a plus size person and get a free seat just because you plus size?
No.
Well, that's the argument, right? Like, Yeah, do they get a free seat? And so what they're saying too is if you show up to the airport and the flight is booked and you need that extra seat because you were a bigger person, then you can't fly. They're gonna like
damn,
you know what I mean? What if I'm trying to get somewhere? I got to get back home for something, and the standby seat that could have been for me, they got to give your other half.
Yeah, it's like you reward for being bigger because you give an extra seat for being bigger. It's like you rewarded.
That's messed up.
I'm sorry. Salute to all my plus size people out there, but I don't feel your pain on this one. No.
Well, whoever got to drive up the mountain to save their marriage. Now y'all making people drive up the mountain. That's crazy.
All right. Well, the airline says this is all part of a push to cut costs and get the company back on track financially. So when you think about it, it all boils down to money. They need need you to pay that extra seat so they can make some more money.
So Southwest is making a push to cut costs. It's the new year. You should make a push to cut weight. Okay? That should be your New Year's resolution.
Man, go big or go home, man.
That's hilarious. All right, y'all. Well, that is your front page news. I'm Mimi Brown. Follow me at Mimi Brown TV. For more stories, follow the Black Information Network, download the free iHeartRadio app, or visit BINnews.com.
Thank you, Mimi.
Hold up. Every day I wake up, wake your ass up. The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?